afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel. I'm your host of the Edge and Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, a couple different ways. Channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can find us on the web, and you can also download our app if you'd rather listen that way. Just go to icradio.media. Okay, it's been no surprise in North Alabama we had some weird weather. This is a state where you could actually have 4 seasons all in one day. Well, we were aware that this might happen, and it did. We had some icy weather. So I've got a couple of things I want to talk to you about. But first, I want you to check out this video just for a couple of minutes. This is my friend Cheryl Baker, and she's from Baker Farms. And she was
This
on
is
her
how
way to the
serious
doctor's office, could not put
this
this
storm
off.
is.
Look at the
There are
stranded
cars
out there.
backed up
Oh
against
my
Saturn
goodness.
Mountain, you guys.
It was something else. I'm telling you. And Cheryl, you did a great job, or I'm glad you were not the one driving. Look at all the stranded vehicles. This can be an issue, especially when you're driving anywhere. It doesn't have to be just in the South, but when you're driving anywhere, you see cars that are stranded on the side of the road. So I've got a list of things I wanted to talk to you about, and this is from a website called IC Roads, icroadsafety.com. So I want you to look at this, and there are several different things we're going to talk about today. And again, these are just basically some do's and some don'ts on being out on the road when you can get just a freak storm coming up at any time. On the icy road, the danger does not end just with your accident. We're going to talk to you about what you can do and what not to do if you're involved in an accident, because it can happen. It can actually get worse as other vehicles are going to be losing control at the same place that you did. And a large percentage of icy road fatalities result from people who are exiting their vehicles only to be hit by a secondary out of control vehicle following the initial incident. So let's talk about some do's. Okay, if your vehicle is still drivable, keep at it. Keep going. Keep going until you arrive at a safe place to pull well off the road. Not only are you at risk from additional out of control vehicles, you may actually cause additional accidents by remaining on the road. So if your accident involved other vehicles that are still all drivable, and if there are no injuries, you might want to encourage everybody to get to the safest location off the road. Now, if the car is disabled, stay in the vehicle if traffic is approaching. You stand a better chance of surviving another car or truck crashing into you if you're inside that vehicle rather than standing outside in the open, because cars can absorb vehicle impacts better than your body can. We want to keep that body intact, okay? If possible, get away from the road as quickly as you can. Once you're sure there's no traffic approaching, exit your vehicle and immediately get as far off the road as you can. Be careful, as the icy pavement will be tricky to walk on. Climb up an embankment, get behind a guardrail or jersey barrier, anything that will get you out of the way of additional sliding vehicles. Okay, if it's not possible to get off the road, stay in the car. Again, if you're in the middle of a bridge and there's no way to escape, stay in the vehicle, because your vehicle can absorb further direct impacts from sliding cars better than your vehicle can. Okay, now a couple of do nots, and then we're going to go into another section. Do not get out of your car and stand on the road. Please don't do that. We want to keep you around, okay? And see, there are some vehicles right there. That was a snow incident that happened pretty recently as well. Now, not in this area, but somewhere else. So make sure that you don't get out of the car and do not stand on the road. Don't worry about inspecting the damage to the car. What you've got to worry about is other cars and tractor trailers that are hurtling towards the same icy spot that you just wrecked on. People standing outside on icy roads after surviving their own accident are often struck and they are killed in secondary accidents. Man, we've heard about that a lot. Don't stop for accidents or stranded vehicles along an icy roadway. I know you want to help, but sometimes you can make it worse. Being a good Samaritan is a noble thing, but on an icy road, it can cause more problems than it solves. So parking on the side of an icy highway can cause passing drivers to break and lose control. thus putting the lives of everyone involved in danger. Unless the stranded driver is in immediate danger, the best thing you can do is contact the authorities. Just call 911. It's that simple. They are equipped to safely block the road or divert traffic, while a tow truck can do the job properly. Okay, so we're going to talk about 7 icy road myths. Okay, we've heard about those as well. 7. Okay, let's talk about this just for a second though. 24% of weather-related vehicle crashes often occur on snowy, slushy, or icy pavement. 24%. So we're going to talk about some of these myths. Okay, there are myths that, you always hear like old wives' tales and stuff like that. Okay, here are the top 7 icy road myths. Number 1, most serious icy road crashes are caused by careless drivers. Not necessary. Now, I know everybody's got that neighbor out there who says, hey, y'all, watch this. I want to get on the road and I want to show you how to drive. Those do cause a lot. So, don't get out and try to be some kind of a hero. But while it is true, some accidents on icy roads are the result of drivers not exercising due care in the face of a visually apparent hazard, the actual data shows that many cannot be classified this way. Now, the reports show that it's everyday people like you and me who are driving at normal speeds when they suddenly and unexpectedly encounter ice and crash. Most of the more serious accidents result from drivers who were not operating their vehicles in a careless manner, but they had no advance warning of an icing hazard being present before they encountered it. It could be you got bad tires. It could be you just simply got into the wrong side of the road at the wrong time. This is especially true for bridge icing. Try to steer away from bridges if I know it's going to come up like that. These have a few visual indicators until the driver is just about to cross that bridge. There's also currently not a high level of awareness of exactly how dangerous the road ice threat is to life and property, how it really is. It is viewed as and often portrayed as an official source, and the media calls it a travel nuisance that is simply an inconvenience for the motorist. Okay, myth number 2. Everybody says this: I'm a good driver, and I have the skill and experience to drive highway speeds in ice and snow conditions. No, not even a race car driver can do this, okay? If they're skilled at it and they've done lots of practice, they practice day in and day out. If it's impossible for them to do, it's going to be impossible most certainly for us to do. No one has the skill to drive at normal highway speeds on icy roads. A factor in many of the serious and fatal crashes is overconfidence in one's ability and or the equipment, traction control, anti-lock brakes, stability control, winter tires, all of those things. Some feel they have sufficient experience in winter driving and can therefore continue normally at or above the speed limit. But a fishtail on ice that occurs at highway speeds is usually unrecoverable by even the most quick-witted and experienced drivers, even race car drivers. A person who enters a high-speed slide will quickly learn that it's something they can't handle, but unfortunately it's just too late. Now, anytime you drive above 45 miles per hour on icy roads, your vehicle enters a highly unstable state on the brink of loss of control. At that point, all that's needed is some type of trigger to set in motion a loss of control sequence that you will most likely not be able to recover. That trigger can be a slight steering motion, could be a lane change, it could be a gust of wind from a passing truck, the tap of brakes or a push of the accelerator, even below 45 miles per hour. The loss of control potential exists, namely with black ice. The difference is at lower speeds. The chance of you leaving the roadway is reduced, and if you do hit something, the impact is less likely to cause serious injuries. Okay, let's see what time. Yeah, I've got time for this one. Myth number 3, winter tires. 4WD, AWD, stability control, ABS, and or traction control allow for safe travel on icy roads at highway speeds. Let's talk about this one. This is really critical right here. The reality is there's no technology, nor tire, nor vehicle type that allows safe travel on any type of an icy road. And that refers to snow, sleet, or freezing rain. at speeds greater than 45 miles per hour. Make sure we get this, okay? This is real important. Not traction control, electronic stability control, 4WD, AWD, anti-lock brakes, or the most expensive brand new snow tires. While these safety features will improve a vehicle's handling and control to some degree, they do not eliminate the danger of losing control at highway speeds over 45 miles per hour. In any type of road icing condition, more severe types of icing may require slower speeds. Let's make sure we get this, okay? A lot of folks say, well, I got me some snow tires. I can just like let it barrel. No, no, you can't. Okay, nearly all the icy road accident fatalities that I've documented, and again, this is icyroadsafety.com. This is what the author says, have documented have involved vehicles travel at or above 45 miles per hour, with the vast majority occurring on interstates or rural two-lane highways. Many, if not most, of these vehicles were equipped with some or all the modern day safety equipment and features. Got over control there. I have personally witnessed, says the author, and captured on video modern vehicles equipped with good tires, traction control, AWD, and or 4WD crashing on icy roads. The general driving public has been poorly informed about this critical point. Most assume that icy road accidents are caused by either an inexperienced or reckless driver, or a vehicle that has bad worn tires. Advertisements for tires and vehicles with new safety technologies are misleading. They're showing cars speeding through snow with ease. This certainly is a contributing factor to road ice accidents numbers. And this is suggesting that the product allows a driver to continue normally in icy conditions without a reduction of speed. It all boils down to the law of physics, specifically the friction between rubber and ice. No tread pattern or computer program will change this fundamental law of nature. This is nature at work. Driving above 45 miles per hour on icy roads is beyond the limitations of anything currently available to prevent a vehicle from fishtailing, oversteering, understeering, or slowing or stopping on an incline. You know what? I'm fussing at you right now because I really, really, really want to keep you safe. So let's go ahead and look at Cheryl Baker's video again. And here she is driving down the road, or she's not, actually her husband is. She's on the way to the doctor's office. And look at all the, now these people did the smart thing. They pulled over to the side, and you can see where some of them did skid just a bit. And see, there you go, there's some more cars. Now she's going up the mountain, I believe it's on 35, just above Fort Payne. That's where it looks like she is. She's on her way to Chattanooga. Has to go to the doctor's office, of course, in the icy and, afraid, to cancel the appointment. But there she goes. Now it looks like they're taking off right here on an exit. See, there's another car stalled right there. See what I'm talking about? Man, we got to be super careful on this, okay? I'm going to kind of move it up just a little bit. I want you to see something else. Now here she goes, and I'm speeding it up just a bit. And so there they are again. And of course, they're looking at all the icy. It would be so easy to plow into those rocks right there. And they're driving really slow. I think she said they were keeping it around 28 miles per hour. So they were doing the smart thing. But even if you're by yourself, if you're going too fast and you're relying on new technology for your tires or any of the other things that we just mentioned, you could plow into a rock and that would be no more you. And man, I couldn't stand that possibility. Okay, now I'm going to go up just a little bit farther. And here she is. There's about 7 minutes of this. Let's go right this way. Okay, there they are, and it's still there. Here's where somebody did skid, like right there. See where they slid? I hope they were okay. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it's really beautiful. If you're going to get out, again, I'd keep it less than 35 miles per hour. I definitely would. Okay, you know something? We've got to go to a commercial break, and we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. I'm going to keep you around, okay? That's why I'm talking about this very minute, okay? All right, here we go. And by the way, when you talk to our sponsors, tell them you saw them on afternoon drive home or the edge.
At Miracle Pottery, each pottery item is hand-turned from durable stoneware, clay body, and non-scratch high-fire glaze. Dishwasher oven and microwave safe, our handcrafted dinnerware and bakeware will last a lifetime, staying just as beautiful as the day it was born. Each pot is signed First Blue Cross in thanks to our Lord, our name, and then the year. We say a tiny prayer for the receiver of each piece that they receive abundant blessings in their lives. It's not just about pottery. We're located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains near Mentone and Valley Head, Alabama. Miracle Pottery is nestled at the base of the hills at 7871 Alabama Highway 117 between Gadsden, Alabama and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please go to our website, miraclepottery.com, for more info about our other getaway cottages. You can also call us at 256-635-6863.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to LamonesMex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales look forward to serving you. And you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Fort Payne and Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at TwinCityUsedCars.com or go by the locations in Fort Payne and Gadsden. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
And Twin City Used Cars really does look forward to serving you. They have all kinds of trucks and cars and SUVs available. And if you're credit challenged, a lot of folks are because of COVID. A lot of folks lost their jobs. They're going to put you in a vehicle. So don't you worry about that. They're located in Fort Payne as well as in Gadsden, Alabama. So go ahead and check them out. We've been talking about, we've had some pretty rough weather out there. And I've got a website I found. I love this website. I'm going to keep this handy. ICRoadSafety.com. ICRoadSafety.com. Makes you think of IC Radio, doesn't it? But go ahead and check them out. You don't want to be stranded like that, do you? Best thing you can possibly do is, hey, how about this? Just don't get out there in it. I didn't, and I know how to drive in it, but you got to think about this. Think about all the other people out there who do not know how to drive in it. You don't want to get stuck. We've been talking about some myths, and I got some really good ones right here, too. Again, this website is icyroadsafety.com. Myth number 4, everyone should buy winter tires. That would prevent most icy road conditions. Okay, or accidents. So let's talk about this. Why is that? Is that a myth? While winter tires certainly do improve traction and handling to some degree during snowy conditions, they do not allow a vehicle to safely travel at normal speeds, at normal highway speeds. You do not want to go 55 miles an hour, okay? Not in the ice. When roads are icy, most fatal accidents happen at high speeds in a condition that is beyond the limits of winter tires to completely prevent a loss of control. We talked about that just a minute ago. You know, a lot of times that's in the marketing of the tires. They'll make it sound as if, oh yeah, no problem. You get out there and drive normal with these new tires. No, that's not true. The regions with some of the highest icy road injury and death incidents are places that only see a handful of winter precipitation events each season. Like here, we don't have that much, okay? In some cases, only 2 or 3 days per year, such as the southern states like us in the United States. Furthermore, in warm weather, winter tires wear quickly, and they have worse handling characteristics during rainy weather. So in locations where icy roads are seen only a few days a year, it isn't practical or economical for all drivers in these regions to buy the winter tires. Okay, I think we've had it on that long enough. Okay, myth number 5. The worst icy road dangers are during big winter storms. Let's find out a little bit more about this. Again, the website is icyroadsafety.com. Okay, the road ice hazard isn't the minor fender benders or slide-offs common during the snowstorms. The real danger is the serious high-speed crashes during the light ice events that take drivers by surprise. When the major snowstorm hits, communities are typically highly aware and prepared for the event prior to its impacts. We usually know something's going to happen. That's why you start seeing the bread and the milk flying off the shelves. Schools and workplaces close. Highways officials close many of the high-speed roads, including the interstates that are usually spots for fatal icy road accidents. Now, when the storm is in progress, the sheer amount of snow prevents vehicles from easily reaching the speeds that are often associated with fatal accidents. So most accidents in snowstorms happen at the onset of the storm or in its fringes, where accumulations are actually lower. Snow accounts for the most icy road fatalities during the winter, but is in the minor events from a dusting, which is what we usually get. And our dusting usually consists of ice, okay, and not snow, or a couple of inches of accumulation that causes the most serious snow-related accident outbreaks. That little dusting at morning rush hour, the one that never makes the news until after it's caused chaos, are the ones to watch out for. With minor snowfalls, people tend to be in business as usual mode, and they're not aware of the hazards they'd be in for a big storm. And by the way, in your county, wherever you live in the United States, we're glad of all 50 states and all the world watching us. We appreciate that. But in your county, there is probably on Facebook, there is going to be something with the Emergency Management Association. Like with us, it's DeKalb County, Alabama, or we've got Marshall County just right up the road. And in Scottsboro, up in that way, we've got Jackson County. Boy, were they throwing it out last night. Folks were having a tough time in Scottsboro, Alabama, going down and up that mountain trying to get home. Okay, myth number 6. Let's talk about that for a minute. Salt, sand, and plow truck crews are there to make roads safe for high-speed travel. A couple of words there, high-speed travel. During snow and ice conditions, 100% of the time. DOT salt and plow crews exist to keep roads passable during ice and snow conditions. They cannot be everywhere at once. It's impossible, not even in a small town like this. The icy patches are still a threat, even with rigorous plowing and salting. A treated and plowed road is nevertheless still not safe on highway speeds. So patches of ice are common on treated roads and during heavier precipitation. Treated roads can re-ice quickly, whereas that's where a lot of the problems actually happen, is when, okay, you think it's done its thing, the sun has been out the next day, and you think, oh, well, that ice is gone. You know, we got rid of it. I don't see any snow out there. What can happen is it refreezes, and that's what you call the black ice. And that's what you got to be careful of right there. It's never safe to travel at normal highway speeds during icy conditions, even with the best salting and plowing crews. Not at all. You know, Harold, who used to live across the street from us when we were living in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was pretty cool. I mean, he really was. So he worked with the road department, and just a real easy guy to work with. But anyway, he would, of course, we would always see him going out. So that was always kind of like a clue. You know, it was kind of a hint to us. Uh-oh, Charlotte's about to get in some snowy, icy weather. Sure enough, sure enough, sure enough, we would always kind of get an alert on that. It always, but those guys are real good, and they work and they go out and work, you know, in just terrible climate. You know, the same thing with the power company. You know, lines are going to go down. Maybe a phone company, you know, any of those utility folks, they're going to have to get out, gas company, whatever. And so we need to be, you know, more appreciative, I think, for them getting out in it, because I don't get out in it. What if I had to, but I just choose not to. I don't want to cause more problems than we already have. Myth number 7, icy roads are a big threat in colder climates where ice and snow is common. No. The fatality and death rates per mile and per hour of winter precipitation events are actually higher in regions that only see a handful of snow and ice events each year, like right here in North Alabama. And sometimes in South Alabama we can get hit. So that's just some of the myths right here. Let's see. I got a couple more things I want to talk to you about as well. Let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break, and we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. We're going to have enough of this going on a lot, so y'all take care, okay? We're going to be right back.
Patterson's Music and Jewelry is a full-line music store offering guitar repair, setup and sound installation equipment, as well as instrument rentals and new and used guitars and amps. We offer jewelry at affordable prices and jewelry repair, watch batteries and link removal, and we offer personalized jewelry such as fingerprint, mother's rings, and pendants. Shop in historic downtown Fort Payne on Galt Avenue. Hours are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Call 256-845-4115. That's 256-845-4115. And thank you for trusting Patterson's Music and Jewelry. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public servant of this area over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, contact Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
That's my friend. He's the attorney, Jeff McCurdy. Check him out because he can help you with all kinds of really neat things. He's been a public servant for years for several different towns right here on the Sand Mountain area, but he's just a really neat guy. I know that he can help folks in Jackson County, DeKalb County, I believe in Marshall County as well. So go ahead and check him out. If you're looking for a will, if you're looking for somebody to stand up for you, maybe you hung out with the wrong crowd over the weekend and got a little bit of trouble. He won't do his nose up at you or anything like that. He'll just get out there and he'll tell you what you should do, okay, and what you shouldn't do. But anyway, Jeff's a really good guy. Go ahead and check him out. And that's attorney Jeff McCurdy. He's located in Henniger and really handy to you, so you don't have to worry about going to some great big huge town and finding a parking spot. He's right there for you. Lots of cases he's going to be able to keep you out of court as well. Okay, now we've been talking about icy roads, icy conditions. We've had quite the event here. I'm going to tell you what, it's been something else. I'm going to mention this again. 24% of weather-related vehicle crashes occur on snowy, slushy, or icy pavement. And it's because people think they can get like snow tires and they can just drive any old way and not worry about it. But you know what? You really, really got to be careful out there. Go to this website, icyroadsafety.com. That's icyroadsafety.com. I'll let you look at a video of my friend Cheryl Baker. She's from Baker Farms. And so she had to go to the hospital or to the doctor's office. It was something required. And so really nervous, driving extremely slow, by the way. It may look like she's flying right now, but she's not. They're driving very, very slow. And that's what we're told to do. Just because you have icy winter tires or whatever, that does not mean you drive normal speed going down the road. So that's how it causes a whole lot of accidents. So we talked about some of the myths, and there's Cheryl taking lots of video. Look at all those cars that are stranded there. This is, I think, off of Highway 35, up above Fort Payne, maybe probably around Mentone area as well. Looks like they're heading 59 maybe to get to her doctor's office. But anyway, we're back. I'm Donna Fiesel, your host. And so let's talk about how to correct a slide. I mean, it's going to happen, and there are ways you can do this, way you can handle it. Because when I was told you about earlier in the program, I went into work and I was working at GTE, and a lot of those folks from up north made fun of us folks, you know, in the South, saying you can't drive in this kind of weather. Actually, I'm the only one who made it in, but anyway, long story said, I started veering, sliding just a little bit, and it freaked me out. First of all, there were no other cars around, but still, you don't want to, like, you know, run into a sign or something like that. And I don't know how true this is. I need to find out if this is a true myth. And that's whether your insurance company actually pays if you have an accident when you're out on an icy road. If anybody knows that, if you don't mind, send me a message and let me know, and I'll make sure that that's corrected. Okay, and that's, again, that question is, does my insurance company actually pay if I get on the roads when the roads have been deemed not passable, that you can't get on the roads? Okay, so we need to find that out. I've heard they don't pay for it, and that's another reason that I don't get on the road when that happens. Okay, if you're sliding, and they call it fishtailing, so if you're sliding and fishtailing at all, it means you're going too fast for the conditions. Okay, that's basically it in a nutshell. And if you drive at a safe speed on ice and snow, like 45 miles per hour or less, and you avoid sudden braking, acceleration, or turns, you won't need to worry about correcting anything. A much better outcome. Now remember this, you're always in a hurry, okay? And I'm just like you, I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm always in a hurry everywhere I go to. And I think, well, I got to do the speed limit. I don't want to be late for work. It's, if you get stopped by a policeman, you're really going to be late going to work. And, or if you have an accident, whoa, you're really going to be late getting into work. So the best thing to do, call the boss and say, look, and now this is for the people who are never late, okay? Some people are chronic late. But let's say you're never late and you need to call the boss. Everybody's got a cell phone. You need to call, leave a message, whatever you need to do, and just say, look, I'm coming into work, but I'm driving really slow because I do not want a fishtail. If you'll say something like that, boss is going to be fine. As a matter of fact, they're going to be rather encouraged that you actually went into work on a day like this when most people are staying at home. And I'd be one of them staying at home, by the way. I learned my lesson about that. The higher the speed, the more difficult it is to correct a slide. Now, most slides or fishtails that happen above 45 miles per hour require very quick and precise steering to correct. So if you just insist on going more than 45 miles per hour, here are some tips for you, okay? And if that's beyond the ability for most drivers to successfully manage. First of all, you're freaking because you're sliding. So the best thing to do is just don't do it. Okay. While oversteer and understeer are both types of slides that can happen on icy roads, it's an oversteer that is the cause of most accidents. Okay, so that's where you're like really, really quick with that steering wheel. Okay, so in this article, we're going to focus on oversteer slide correction. Okay, first of all, there are 3 points to remember about oversteer slide correction. First of all, don't hit the brakes. Don't do that. Braking triggers slides, and it makes existing slides even worse. So don't just like slam on your brakes. Okay, we call it slamming. Apparently somebody up north wrote this, don't hit the brakes. Don't hit or slam the brakes. Turn into the slide. So turn your wheels in the direction the back of the vehicle is sliding. So if it looks like the vehicle is going to the right, well then you want to steer the steering wheel to the right. Okay, that's going to help stop that. Don't panic and don't overcorrect. Now, overcorrecting may send the car into an unrecoverable spin. Okay, now let's talk about these a little bit more detail. Let's talk about don't use your brakes. Okay, now braking is one of the most common mistakes drivers make during a slide on an icy road. Brake can not only trigger a slide, but it makes a slide worse. For slide correction, for slide correction to work, your wheels need to be turning freely. I mean, if that thing is just, again, if the back tires are going to the right, then you need to steer to the right. If they're going to the left, you need to steer to the left, okay? And that just kind of puts everything at ease, but do it slowly, okay? Slowly. And I know what it's like because I've been in that situation before too. You're thinking like, is this the end of me? You're thinking all those things at the same time. But I want you to think about it. Just stop and think just for a second and do everything at a slow speed, okay? Turn into the slide. Okay, let's see what this means. Turn your front wheels in the same direction that the rear is sliding. We talked about that a second ago. You've also heard about turning into the slide. These both mean the same thing. For example, if the back of your car slides to the right, turn the wheel to the right. As the car straightens out, straighten the steering wheel, okay? Because it will start. Don't keep turning it. So let's go over this again. So if the back tire is going to the right, fine, do the steering wheel to the right. But now as it starts adjusting itself, you slowly get that steering wheel back in focus, okay? Do it slowly. It's helpful to keep your eyes focused on where you want the car to go. That is, on the road ahead. The amount you'll need to turn the wheel is how far and how fast the back of your car is sliding. So a small slide will only require a slight steering motion. Okay, I'm going to hand on this. Again, please go less than 45 miles an hour. I'd go less than that, 35, or I've been known to go 25. And I'm like a speed driver, okay? But I do know when to go slower, so be really careful. Okay, number 3 is don't panic and don't overreact. Okay, now we talked about that just a second ago. Okay, an oversteer slide gives the car angular momentum, which means it will still want to keep rotating into a full spin. So overcorrecting can send the car rotating faster than a steering can counter, and the car will spin out. Now, I looked at the video that was sent by Cheryl Baker of Baker Farms. I looked over at that. And so I'm going to go into tips here just for a second. So let's go into it again. I didn't see anywhere where they were sliding, but now her husband was driving at a constant, okay, he was constantly slow. Now look at that, see that vehicle that was actually turned backwards? There's one sideways. These are vehicles that were probably driving just a little bit too fast. There's one that almost went over the median. See, look at this. The best thing to do, though, is like these drivers did. They pulled over to the side of the road, or they may have skid out of the side of the road. I don't know. But you've got to be careful, okay? And so there we go. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go into a commercial break. I think we've got time. Let's go ahead and go to commercial, and then we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. So y'all hang in there.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. It's holiday time, so get ready with these specials at Albertville Foodland Plus. Grade A Young Food Club turkeys only $1.29 a pound. Bake a pie with our Mississippi-grown sweet potatoes only 39 cents a pound. Save money on your holiday cooking essentials this year with high-quality roasting pans from Simply Done. And save money on Food Club beans, only 2 for $1. Check us out on the web at shop.foodlandgrocery.com, where we now offer curbside service, recipe of the day, digital coupons, and online shopping. And as always, thank you for shopping Albertville Foodland Plus.
Don't we have some awesome sponsors? They are the absolute best. And that's Albertville Foodland Plus. Why don't you mention also their store brands? They're as good as any national brand. And I use their store brands for all my baking right there. Unless something national's on sale and maybe it's a little bit cheaper, well, I'll go ahead and buy the national brand. But overall, yeah, I like to go ahead and just buy their store brands because they're really awesome. And so we'll have some more shopping tips coming up a little bit later. We've been talking about the snowy weather, the icy weather, how to drive in it, what to do, what not to do, myths that are available. I've got something else for you, and this is called the big outside. What if you get stranded? So we live in the country. We're on 38 acres of land. There's lots of open country here in where we live, or maybe wherever you live. I've heard of folks in Wyoming getting stranded, and maybe it was days before anybody could even find them. They were going missing. Maybe the cell phone service was bad. Now, make sure you keep the cell phone charged up, by the way. Something I noticed this morning? We had that icy weather, and I looked and I forgot to charge my battery. And I thought, oh no, you're always doing all these little what ifs. I thought, what if the electricity goes off and I don't have a chance to actually charge my battery? Those are some things you need to think about the night before. Okay, so I've found, and this is a website called thebigoutside.com. Thebigoutside.com. I love this website. And it's 12 tips for staying warm in winter. If you're outdoors, let's say you get stuck outside, something happens to the car, and you got to find help. And maybe you've got a pregnant lady in the car with you, so there's always a million things you can think of. But you've got to really be careful when you're outside when it's very, very cold, and I'm one of those, I'm going to tell you what, I'm already ready for the summertime to get here. I love hot weather. I love it hot and sultry. I really do. That's my favorite weather. I have a real tough time when it comes to wintertime. So let's go ahead and get started with number one, and it's a simple one. It's called move. Okay, move. Let's talk about this. Clothing does not produce heat. It only helps trap the heat that your body produces and protects you from wind and precipitation. Now, anytime you get cold, the single best strategy for rewarming is to start moving or increase your pace. Go ahead and start exercising. Anytime you get cold, absolutely watch others in your group for signs when they're cold, especially children who have less body fat and mass and cool off more quickly than adults do. When you take a break, make it short to avoid cooling off. If someone has visibly cooled off faster than others during a break, have that person start moving ahead of the group. You will regroup before long. Okay, and this is with a group of folks. It could be your parents or whoever. We talk in the summertime about what to do with kids during bad storms. And if you have a storm shelter, don't go into the storm shelter just when it's a bad thing, because then you're going to have a tough time getting the kids to go inside the storm shelter. So we're going to have a few tips what to do in the wintertime. Number 2 is pace yourself. Boy, isn't that hard to do. You got all these questions going on. You got like a million things can happen. You start worrying. You start freaking out. What if? Pace yourself. Just be really calm. Minimizing how much you perspire in cold temperatures is critical to keeping warm because wet clothing conducts heat away from your body. So you don't really want to sweat it. So try to set a pace that keeps you warm without causing you to overheat and perspire heavily, because you can sweat in the wintertime just like you can in the summertime. And so the author of thebigoutside.com, the author says, I try to strike a balance between producing enough heat to keep my toes and fingers warm without sweating in my core. The optimum pace usually accelerates my heart and respiration rates to comfortable levels without me struggling for breaths. Now, if sweating is unavoidable because of your activity level, there may be some moments when that level drops, such as a transition from moving uphill into moving downhill. So try to smooth out that transition by slowing to a pace where you can stop or reduce your sweating, but still generate enough body heat to at least begin drying your base layers. Now, let's talk about this. Drier base layers will help prevent a sudden chill when your activity level declines, like when you're camping out in the wintertime. And so this guy says, when I'm camping out in the winter, I do about 20 minutes before stopping to camp. and what touches your skin really does matter. Okay, now adjusting the layers, because you know what we do, we dress in layers. And I'll have to tell you, when I go to church, because I'm like the only cold natured person I think in the entire church, whatever church I've ever went to. Even in the summertime, I wear jackets. I mean, I wear coats. You can always take a coat off, right? If it starts getting too cold or too hot or whatever. Okay, adjust layers. This is number 3. Okay, sometimes whether climbing uphill on a backcountry ski or snowshoes or high exertion activities like running on Nordic skiing, which I never do any of these things, but sometimes you can just kind of work up a sweat. It's impossible to avoid sweating, so adjusting your clothing layers. For example, if there's no wind and you're exerting hard, you may need a breathable insulation layer, something like fleece, over a fast-drying wicking base layer. If it's windy, you may want a waterproof, breathable hard shell over a mid-weight insulation layer, like a fleece or a vest, and that prevents you from cooling down. For high exertion, high-speed activity like Nordic skiing, where your motion creates wind against your body. Now, we're all farmers, okay, right here in this neck of the woods. So these are some things they're talking about, skiing and things like that. But when you're a farmer and you're responsible for going outside feeding those animals, you're doing a lot of work. You're getting the hay ready and those kinds of things. So don't think of, oh, she just snooty, she's talking about skiing. No, I'm talking about the things that you and I do on an everyday basis. Wear a somewhat windproof and more breathable soft shell or jacket with breathable insulation to prevent excessive sweating, and move moisture off your base layer more quickly. Now, find the right outer layer for your purposes, and you may only have to adjust layers maybe infrequently. Okay. Now, eat more. Oh, this gives us a good excuse right here. Eat some more of that pecan pie. No, we're going to talk about what you really need to eat. Your body needs more fuel in freezing temperatures. That's what we've noticed about our animals. Buddy and Greenlee eat a whole lot more when it's cold outside. That makes sense. So your body needs more fuel in freezing temperatures to keep your internal furnace burning, but when you're out for more than 2 hours. Okay, so eat high-fat snacks. Oh, this gives me an excuse. They're saying chocolate. Like chocolate, cheese, and nuts. I've noticed Greenlee likes cheese now. Maybe that's why. Because fat is slow-burning fuel that keeps your body going for the long haul, which becomes more important in the cold. So keep snacks handy so you can refuel frequently. Feeling a chill or fatigue is often an indicator that your body needs food. Now, if you eat energy bars for convenience, especially when you're wearing gloves, choose ones that pack plenty of protein and calories. I seem to crave a lot of peanut butter when it's cold. Maybe there's something to it. Your body craves what your body needs, is what I've heard. Okay, drink up. In cold, dry conditions, typically in winter, you become dehydrated more quickly than you realize. You know, we think, oh, that's just when we're working out in the garden or we're going to the beach or whatever. No, it means this time of the year too. Even if you're not sweating much, drink frequently. Carry a thermos with a hot drink. Add sugar to it for quick energy, or a little dollop of butter for flavor and fat. Just a little bit, okay? But use butter and not margarine. The butter is much better for you. Number 6, don't freeze your water. As a matter of fact, when I'm drinking my iced tea, my sweet tea, I don't want any ice in it in the wintertime. It just makes me colder. Now, this author, again, the website is thebigoutside.com, thebigoutside.com. I use hydration bladder in temps down to the mid-20s Fahrenheit without the hose or mouthpiece freezing. If I keep the pack on my body, which helps keep warm the hose, especially when it's running through a tunnel, and a shoulder strap on my back, that's a design feature of many packs made for winter activities. I also make a point of blowing back into the hose after each time I drink to clear the water from the mouthpieces and hose. And which are more likely to freeze than the water reservoir inside the pack, which is closer to your back and warmed by your body heat. But in colder temps, the hose will likely freeze. So use the wide mouth bottle water bottles are double wall bottles like Hydro Flask instead. So store uninsulated bottles in an insulated sleeve inside your pack upside down so that when you hold them upright to drink from them, any ice that's formed will be at the bottom of the bottle. That makes sense. So when camping in freezing temperatures, don't leave a water bottle out or it might freeze solid and take hours to thaw if it does at all. So either empty your bottles or preferably fill them with hot water and put them inside your sleeping bag as heaters. Makes sense there again. Carry spare gloves. Okay, this is important. Do your fingers get cold easily, then become difficult to rewarm? Yeah, mine do, absolutely. So carry 2 pairs of gloves, keeping the second pair in a zippered or secure jacket pocket so that your body heat keeps them toasty. It would be like blocks of ice in your pack. So when your fingers get cold, remove the gloves you're wearing and warm your bare hands against your belly or your pants pockets inside your thighs. Once the blood has returned to your fingers, put the gloves you've kept warm inside your jacket and put the cold ones in that pocket. You're just recycling, basically. So this is a good method for drying wet gloves, but put wet gloves in a pocket of waterproof, breathable jacket where the dampness won't make contact with your body. Plus, carrying a spare pair of gloves is a smart safety precaution in winter. You never know when a gust of wind or maybe a fall or a damage like a tear or even an avalanche could cause you or a companion to lose a glove or two. So quickly leaving you without the functional use of your hands and putting you at risk of severe frostbite. I don't want that to happen to you. Lastly, mittens are warmer than gloves because fingers benefit from the collective warmth. I never knew about that. Okay, so get cold, and they get cold more easily when isolated. Whenever dexterity isn't critical or an extremely cold, wear mittens instead of gloves or over light gloves. Okay, bring 2 hats, and then we're going to have to go. But let's talk about this real quick. Bring 2 hats. For any outing on which my exertion level or the temperature will vary, I always like to carry 2 hats. Or really a warm one for when I'm taking a break or not exerting hard unless I'm wearing a helmet, or even exerting hard in really cold temperatures, and a lighter, more breathable one for when I'm exerting hard like climbing uphill in moderately cold temps. Now when a hat that's too warm would make me overheat, that's the kind of beanie style hat I'd like to wear for aerobic winter activities. Now when I'm wearing the warm hat, I keep the lighter one, which may have gotten damp from sweat, in a pocket close to my torso so I can dry it clearly. And number 9, we'll end with this one, and that's pre-warm your gloves and boots. Fingers and toes get cold most easily because they're the farthest part of your body and from your heart. And once they become cold, your brain directs the capillaries in your extremities to cut off circulation from those parts. That's a biological reaction known as vasoconstriction that protects the body's cold from cold blood returning to the heart. Thank you so much for watching. You're the apple of my eye. That's why we're going through all these things right here. I want to keep you safe. Something could happen. We get these little freak storms, ice storms sometimes, and so now we're a little bit more educated and we all know what to do. Again, thank you for watching Afternoon Drive Home and The Edge. I'm Donna Feazell. I am your host. Again, thank you so much for watching. You stay safe out there, okay? And if you'd like to send more information, send it to Donna at icradio.media.